Gurjaras, Burgundians. Okay. Nice. Found an extra sheep. Extra sheep as well. Excellent. Okay, pretty good start so far. This might be a case of trying out my new build, actually. Okay, so basically, I've been coming up with a new build with Gurjaras. I swear it started out like a shower idea and ended up just being kind of insane. Basically, the concept is you put all the sheep in the mill to start, right? Like any normal Gurjara game. Because the sheep in the mill generates food per minute. Equivalent, if you get like all 8 in, it's usually around like 2 bills worth of income, or like, you know, 1 to 2 bills worth of food income. So it's quite good. So you put them in right away, and you take your other sources of food, like year, boar, etc. And then, instead of just leaving it like that for all of Feudal Age, we're going to take our sheep out in Feudal Age to eat them instead of having to make farms. And this way we can get a really fast castle time, because we don't need a lot of farms. You can have like the sheep. And that can carry us to Castle Age without making very many farms, which could enable a really fast castle. So that's kind of the idea I'm going to go for this game. Now the thing is with this build, I've done it once before against Viper, and it actually worked out beautifully. It was so good. We were able to beat out his Vikings, if I remember correctly. And this time we're up against Hearttt, a very solid player as well, and he's playing with the Burgundians. And the idea with this build is going to play archers. We're not going to play anything cavalry related, because the idea is to get a faster castle, or a very fast castle time, and make use of the Expo power spike. Now the only thing that's difficult with this game is the fact that I have a forward gold. I might have to tower that. And this build in general is very fragile, because if you get hit and you're forced to make like skirms, you lose a couple of villagers, something goes wrong, you miss the timing. Your timing has to be perfect to the point where you get the castle age without having to make a lot of farms. It's very important. If you get delayed and you're forced to make farms, then it's like any builder or any regular strategy, but you actually lose the sheep in your milk because you're going to eat them. So it ends up being a net negative. So that's the theory behind the build. Let me go ahead and show it to you guys in practice here. And you'll see what I'm talking about here with the basically skipping farms. It'll all become clear to you in Feudal Age. For now, it's about the same as any regular Gurjara game, so nothing too special. There we go. A bit of extra rotting under my TC, but it's not the end of the world. It's all good in the hood. Yeah, fresh haircut as well. Had it a little shorter than I wanted, but you know, it's whatever. It'll grow back. It's all good in the hood. There we go. Like that. Get my lumber camp up now. This is a very standard Gurjara gameplay here. Nothing out of the ordinary. The out of the ordinary stuff is coming soon, though. Don't worry. All right, cool. So we're gonna go something like 19 pop skip loom, something like that. That's usually like the fastest build you can do with the loom skip, and I like to skip loom here because against Burgundians, I don't think they can punish me fast. They get double bid axe, so they usually up a little bit later, and so it's usually very easy to get away with this no loom against Burgundians. Now we're gonna go ahead and send like 7 to wood. We don't need more than 7 because we're not gonna make that many farms. Normally we do 8 to wood. But with this build, you could go 7. It doesn't have to be that precise, but you know, I'm a pro player. I have to make it as precise as possible. And we're gonna take a few straggler trees to help us get off the start with like the barracks, you know, the range, the mining camp. You need a lot of wood to begin, so that's why you abuse the straggler tree a little bit here, without going too many on the main lumber camp, because those usually just stay there for all the Feudal Age. We don't want to have too much wood later on. We just need a lot of wood now, and then we can kind of pull off on wood. So that's the idea. So I always have this problem with like the forward gold here. So we have to try to defend that as best as we can. We do see that he is around this area, which should be quite... Okay, let's do it like this. There we go. I'll go with the berry bill, actually. Supposed to do barracks into range, try to defend my gold and my buildings. He's either around here in this corner, or he's around here to the left. But it looks like we find him in this corner. Excellent. Alright. And then we'll go to gold a bit later. This is pretty fantastic. Go, and I should definitely get Loom. Kind of delaying it even one more pop is very risky. Hope I don't get punished. Do a mining camp like that. It's hard to tell if it's efficient on the hill actually, but it looks okay. There we go. Cool. Now we get our wood upgrade. Fantastic. And we could make one spear. I don't know if I want to commit to that just yet though. Now we send a bunch to our berries. Okay. So I said we don't want to make too many farms, but you can get away with 1 or 2. I've found 1 or 2 farms is not a big deal. But here we're going to abuse the berries for a little bit. We're going to go like something like 6 on berries. And look at him. He's just going to open the range right away. So it's going to be a pretty slow-paced game most likely. So no spear needed for me. And the slow-paced game is good initially because we're going to switch it up and we're going to go for a really fast castle. That's the whole idea. Now in a little bit, we're going to start switching into taking our sheep. So here we're going to get our blacksmith. So we're ready for any kind of early game engagement. And we're going to be pulling off, of gold, off of the straggler tree for sheep very, very soon. You could take them near the mill, but I don't like that. I like the mill to be like just pure, pure berry gathering. And under the TC it will now be sheep gathering. And the goal here is to right away spike until we get the food needed for Castle Age. Notice I take them out 1 at a time only. And I just have to keep my eye out on my opponent, because again, this is a very fragile build. It's actually not a very good build if you get caught. And you have to fight a lot, so we're trying to fight as little as possible here, okay? Very important, as little as possible. Alright, pick up the next sheep. It's quite difficult to do, but I like it. So I'm going to send my camel back, so here I'm going to get hit a little bit. So he's going to come forward at spear skirm, so we have to defend this a little bit. I might even get fletching, or I might make a tower. I think making a tower is better because I have this stuff on the front that's really hard to deal with. So this just feels better. There we go. Defend everything. Push it back. The next guy in there. And that tower is going to defend me. No fletching, by the way. No fletching. We're going to skip that. If you need to get it, you could get it. No problem. But I'd rather the tower. There we go. And again, now we're going to try to close up everything. So now the camel's going to go here, try to close this down. And I could make 1 stable, by the way, just to scare him. So what I could do is make a stable here. So he thinks like if he comes around and he sees the stable, he might think, okay, you know, I better back off. Because we can actually afford the stable entirely. And we're going to go for crossbows. That's the whole idea with the build. Alright, so now we're going to wall this off, and hopefully I can do that in time. And if not, by the way, if we can't get it... Oh, that's a mistake. I'm going to have to just eat the sheep here. Yeah, not the most efficient. If we can't get it, you can just abandon the build entirely and just switch to something else. Like, it's completely fine. Switch into something else. Like, if he comes around, he's not respecting me, he's gonna just continue, like, attacking me and, like, just dogging me with all forms of units, like skirm, spear, whatever. Then I can just make scouts and completely abandon it. And like I said, it's not ideal because you lose the sheep in your mill. So you lose that, like, passive gather rate. But at least you don't die. So this build is fragile, but it's not like you're forced into it. Alright? To the point where you can't adapt out of it at all. As you can see, that sheep gather rate here is so good, and I don't need any farms, so I can afford the stable. You can even market. If I didn't need a tower, I can even market enough that way. But I mean, take a look at this. Now he sees the stable, so now he's gotta respect that a little bit. Take a look. I'm pretty much already up. I'm just missing a little bit of gold. I'll idle for that. Do this. Probably not. And we're up. Such an insane build. 15 minutes Castle Age is really good. We have a stable set up as well. And I just like to just finish off this last sheep, because keeping 1 sheep in, you won't even feel it, there's no point. Might as well just feast on that guy. And it's going to help you get a couple upgrades in. You can get Horse Collar, which you have to skip, by the way. I skipped fletching as well. And now, I don't like going for the second range crossbow. I think that's bad, because then you're committing too much into a unit that Gurjaras are not very good at. So I'm going to use the Expo as like a power spike, and then switch into some kind of cavalry. Camels or Shawarma riders. That's usually the way to go. So I'm a bit exposed on this side. There's nothing much I can do about it. If he does attack me there, I have to react. And I'll make a few more farms because we want to switch off into some kind of cavalry or camelry. And as you can see, those are horse collar farms. Okay, now we see where he is. Perfect. And again, against skirms, crossbows will destroy them. Like, I'm not even worried about the skirms. When these guys finish, we're gonna go make a second number. And have a really, really solid economy. I will be able to port crossbow and bodkin here, no problem. And then after that, we could decide to start booming. Or, you know, to play for the relics. In this case, I'll probably play for the relics versus Burgundians. I just have to keep these guys at home until I have the upgrades or until I'm Castle Age. Because if I run into these skirms in the middle of the map, it's a disaster. A really big disaster. Alright, so now we're going to go forward here. Cool. And, okay, let's go ahead and cancel that. Excellent. Now we get crossbow bodkin. And take a look, it's like 17 minutes. It's really fast. It's not like insanely fast, like it's a fast castle, but I have a really good economy. I have a really good economy, right? So it's not like I'm going up and I have nothing. I have enough to make crossbow, enough to follow it up with a monastery, and to also go for, you know, whatever else I want. In this case, maybe a shawarma rider. And look, he's still stuck in Feudal Age. And I've got crossbows at his base. Look how good that is. He's done a good job walling up. I don't want to do too many more crossbows, so I'll probably cancel some of those. And switch entirely to the riders. And here, because I want to switch to some town centers eventually, we can now get onto some stone. And my economy is beautiful back home. Which is my favorite part about this build. I get full map control, and I'm not sacrificing anything. Well, I'm sacrificing the sheep, I guess you can say, but even that's a very small price to pay. Of course, my opponent on skirms, which is kind of where I want him to be, in fact. And now I can just run away. And we'll play with the riders. You can run up top. He's gonna attack me pretty hard, probably. But this is still really good because I have the rider transition down pat. And this is with a really bad map as well, with the forward gold, forward berries. So like, this is actually very, very nice. Unfortunately, he is on counter unit, so we can't like get that much damage done, but we are forcing him to be on a lesser unit here with the skirm. And pick up the relic. And you know what? There's actually a counterattack angle here. For our relics. I'm gonna keep my riders at home. Need to get some armor on those guys. They're not that strong, but they should do the trick. Pick up some relics in the meantime. Good job. I might be able to run in there. You have to micro those guys a little bit. There you go. Have to heal them up. Hello. Thank you. Alright, not bad. And keep in mind, we are taking the relics throughout all this, which is the main plan. So now we're on, he's stuck on like random skirmishers and we're on the best unit. So this is why, in pro gameplay, you can't just win randomly. You have to take small advantages. And this is one of those things where we set up the whole game just to give us the small advantage, well, it's actually a pretty big advantage, of getting 3 relics right off the bat. Maybe we can play for a 4th one now. That is the huge outcome out of this early game. Huge outcome. And I'm actually pushing him. We can play for this 4th one. Excellent. Maybe I could even play for a 5th relic. And against Burgundians, to deny all the relics, that's a pretty good setup. I could even mix in some more crossbows here. Why not? Oh yeah, he might just be dead here. He lost both monks. He's getting raided by shawarma riders. We're now into another range. So he's gonna have to double down into units that are bad for him, like skirms. It's really horrible if you think about like Burgundians being forced into skirmishers and a second range skirmishers. It's really, really bad. So now I am making one crucial mistake. I'm floating a lot of gold. Let's see if I can find that 5th relic. It should be around here somewhere. Maybe it could be on this side as well. On either side. And now I could play towards more army or a 3rd TC. I have some options, but I don't want to have happiness floating the gold though. So I think we're gonna have to fix some of that. Might even have to play towards a market here just to fix this gold situation. And funny enough, I want a TC there on more gold, but for the market this should be fine. Go for armor, and now let's go for another play here. I still want to keep the pressure on, and there's relic number 5. So when you get 5 relics against Burgundians, the idea here is we just want to trade against them now. We want to continue trading, continue fighting. We win the late game guaranteed. We get a nice conversion there, but it's fine. We get a heal. And all those range units are just completely useless against Gurjaras. Completely useless. And we continue massing some crossbows here, just to counter any knights or monks that could come out. And against knights, we don't need crossbows even. We can simply use camels. So we're completely fine against knights even, cavalier, whatever. Now we're gonna double down into the shawarma rider, as I like to call them. There we go. Get town watch. 5 relics. Now we just continue trading. And now, from a small advantage, we now find ourselves at a huge advantage. We gotta take the fight well though. There we go. Yeah, decent trade. Kill a monk and a few crossbows. You got 1 shawarma rider for it. That's the deal. Excellent. Now we continue spamming, and now we can make our way towards the unique unit of the Gurjaras. Sorry, not unique unit, unique tech of the Gurjaras, which makes all my food units a bit cheaper. Right, sell everything. You can't really fight this ever. Yeah. It's just such a bad situation. He's forced on crossbows, skirms, as Burgundians with no relics. He's basically playing a generic civ and scaling with the wrong unit. That's basically what's happening right now. Alright, now we engage this. Oh, very nice engagement. And he honestly just might call it GG because there's nothing he can do about it. I'm only going to get stronger from here. I'm on all my cavalry options. He did a good job getting a last minute conversion there. I'll send those guys in now. So before I was running away. But now that I've got a nice flow of units, I can send them in, no problem. Look for a 4th TC even, if I continue spending my res. And now with all of this in the back of his base, he's going to have to deal with them. He's going to have to, like, somehow counter them. I don't even know how. And then I'm going to be just flooding units through the center. And continuing to expand with more and more stables. While expanding my economy. It's not my economy suffering either. And all of this, I got all of this pressure from just sacrificing my 8 sheep in the middle. I really think this is the way to play Gurjaras. Or at least this is one way to play them. And it's a very strong way to play them as well. Because they're a really good civ later on, but it's just sometimes you struggle getting that nice initiative. And this play with, you know, the sheep is giving you that initiative pretty much every time. And even if you don't get the fast castle, even if you're forced to scrap in feudal, I think it's still worth getting a little bit of extra food, which is absolutely fascinating. Such a cool way to play the civ, really taking advantage of all of its bonuses. And the thing is, it's late game, like late game Gurjaras, insane. It's a really good unit. I'll probably just shift the equals, guys, just to not give him one. So it's not like, you know, you do this and like, okay, you have to end the game. No. I'm chilling, have all the relics here. I can easily just wait for the late game and continue spamming here. You know, while we get there, continue adding in stables. In this situation, because of the threat of camels, by the way, he can never get off crossbows. because of the threat of camels. That's why he's investing into second range. You might think it's really stupid, but it's really not. Like, again, I'm making it seem like it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it's not a stupid play from Hearttt. You know, again, this guy's rank 2 right now, so it's rank 1 versus rank 2. This is basically, you know, the highest level it can get. He's obviously thinking ahead, and he's going for that unit, and, you know, the crossbow for a reason. He doesn't want to die to camels. But now we're gonna go ahead and do the best way to end the game. I made a whole Patreon video on this. It's forward castle into faster in. Made a whole 35-minute Patreon video for any of you guys who are struggling ending your games. This is what I consider to be the best way to end games, especially with cavalry civs. So basically, the way to set this up is as the builds come forward, we want to push and make sure we get the map control. Go for a forward castle and then take one of his minerals and then look to click in. Sounds like it's a lot, and it all happens fast. But it's just a few steps, alright? Once you know what to do, it's quite simple. So now the builds are coming. Now we're going to go for the engagement to make sure that the castle goes up. And these guys will stay back. Custody for him, but again, there's not many of them, so it's really not that much of a problem. Alright, and now he's going to call it GG, basically. It's over, but if it wasn't over, I decided between all-in castle or faster rim here after I get the castle forward. Castle will secure the ground, make sure he can't push back. But like I said, he's probably just going to call it. Alright, so if I want to go imp, I just cancel this and I wait for imp. If I want to go all in castle, I just get that, get my unique attack, and continue spamming in castle. Both are winning strats here. I'll just pick imp for arbitrary reasons. I can't take that stone, so I have to go back. There we go. Castle's up. His economy is absolutely ruined. Now we'll squeeze an imp. And the beautiful part is, after that, we'll still save for unique tech, and we'll still try to go for a nice little spam of... Now we'll switch it up. We're going to go camels. Now that he's got, you know, no more crossbows on the field, we can switch it up and we can play for camels, which is the strongest Gurjara unit, basically. So get unique tech. Soon TM. Cool. And you know what? I'm exposed to some counter raids, by the way. So what I'm going to do is get a castle here to help defend my base a little bit. And I'll also get the ballistics. That's going to help me defend my base as well. So I don't want to leave myself too exposed to counterattacks. He's got Custodier. It's not an easy unit to deal with. Let's get all my economy attacks here while we set up for Feudal Age. It's usually a good time to do so. And there's the counterattacks. So here we're going to go camel against this. I won't even quick wall. I don't think I need to. Just literally just go camel. I want to wait till my unique tech is finished, but I won't have the time. But this is, again, very easy to counter because I'm on now Gurjara Camel, which is just such a broken unit against Cav. There we go. I'm just using the Shawarma Riders to tank, by the way. Even got a conversion there. He'll probably call it when he sees Imp. And now we add in some stables, get handcart. All eco attacks are in. That are relevant, and we have 5 relics. I mean, I don't know how to win a game better than this, guys. Start to finish, I don't know how to win it better than this. 5 relics, winning late game. We have the better units, better position on the map, and better economy. I mean, this is the definition of winning a game, and he's just gonna call it here, like almost guaranteed. When imp hits. Let's see, maybe he's got that fight in him, maybe. Okay, it looks like he does, so we're gonna have to punish him for trying to continue the game. Send in some raids. Play it smart though. There we go. We get the trebs out. It's not the crossbows, by the way, which are quite dangerous. And the GG score. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let's get a GG in the chat. We are live streaming this on Twitch, of course. And I hope you guys did enjoy this on YouTube. This was a very, very fun game for me. Start to finish. Used a really cool new Gurjaras. Kind of like, not build order, but like strategy. A new Gurjaras idea. I came up with this. It's funny. I came up with this in the shower one day. And I just thinking about it. I was like, this is so good. Why aren't people doing this? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 100% sure that some people out there at lower levels, not pro players, have been thinking of this and maybe have been doing it as well. So let me know if you guys in the comments on YouTube have been doing this. Let me know on Twitch if you guys have been doing it as well. Soxy in the chat saying he takes 4 sheep. I think it's a really good way to use the sheep bonus for the Gurjaras more than just keeping them in the mill. Because having an extra 2 vills or like a vill and a half-ish of food income is not that impactful Feudal Age onwards. Whereas getting a faster castle age by what, like 2 minutes? What did I hit? Look at this, getting a 1 minute and a half faster castle against a good economy civ, like Burgundians are a good civ. 1 minute and a half faster castle age. Just because I eat the sheep, that's ridiculous. Like, that's way better than a vill and a half of passive income. That let me get map control with the crossbows. It let me transition into shawarma riders earlier. It let me get, you know, all 5 relics. And this is with a bad map, because I had to make a tower. So it's a hard build to do. It's a very fragile build to do. But I think if you can manage this, you have a really high threat of fast castle with crossbows. And if not, you just transition to feudal. You just add scouts, defend yourself like I had the option to this game because I made the stable early. So I don't even think I'm like hard committing to it, which is really good. And overall, I just love this game. I feel like we won in every aspect of the game. And I feel like I can do this pretty much 9 out of 10 times with the Gurjaras using this special strat. So thank you so much for watching on YouTube. If you guys did watch this and enjoy the video, I hope so. Come on down to Twitch and check us out. And if you guys want more of my secret guides and exclusive content, check out my Patreon, especially for that forward castle video. I think it's like one of the best videos I've ever made. If you struggle with ending games, definitely check that out. All that exclusive content is on Patreon. Links to both Twitch and Patreon in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!